Okay, everybody, let's have a quick recap of the Valley Out of Time zine series here by Skeeter Green Productions for DCC and MCC role-playing games. So, the first three I've already done videos on. This is going to be a video on the fourth one. Just go back and check out these if you're interested in this series. I've enjoyed it a lot. It's very cool. The first one is Welcome to the Valley. It's a little thin compared to some of the other ones, but it's definitely getting you in the right start here to check out this long-forgotten valley. So that was the first one. And then we've got Exploring the Valley. This one I think is pretty much a must-get of these series of zines. I think you should probably get all of them if you enjoy them. But it's got a lot of new monsters. This is kind of like your bestiary zine here with some cool encounter tables that you're going to need to run the Valley Out of Time. Next, it was the Danger Valley. That's the third one, and it's got a lot of neat encounters. And I like that one a lot as well. And now we're going to be doing Tribes and Factions, which is a pivotal kind of informational dump here for you to explore and to expand on the Valley Out of Time. And let's just take a look at what's coming up. We've got Rotten at the core, and then finally the last part 6 is God's Walk the Valley. Now part 5 is a beast, definitely the biggest one. It looks like they have a bunch of encounters, so that's pretty neat. But let's go ahead and take a look at Tribes and Factions. I think it looks nice. I like this cover, like how she's kind of coming up on top of the words there for the Valley Out of Time. Going to slay this big T-Rex. And I like the dinosaurs obviously on it. So pretty neat. And it's a decent size. It's kind of normal size. So part 4, Skeeter Green once again. Again, it kind of rehashes everything that we kind of know. Now, there's one thing about this. It's got a couple encounters that says that they are encounters that you should have kind of a warning to them that they are a little bit explicit, or they explore some themes that some people might find troubling. They do point that out several places, so it's not like you're not going to see that and you're going to miss it. So really no excuse. So this has got some encounters like they all kind of do, and it also is going to flesh out more of our unevolved humanoid tribe. So that's very helpful because we've been talking about them in the other zines. This one's going to give you a lot of cool information. It's going to give you something I really, really enjoy a lot. And I think it's very valuable if you want to really explore this Valley Out of Time campaign setting. So we're going to have, again, we're going to have some interesting encounters. And of course, off the bat here, Here Comes the Cavalry, I thought it was another one of these things where it's like, oh, you're going to be walking and then all of a sudden you're going to come across somebody or some creatures or something, and then it's going to be fight time. And yes, it kind of does that. That's kind of an ongoing theme of just coming across things. But I will say, this zine in particular really kind of starts changing up that formula that we've seen throughout the other encounters. So we're going to have some beastmen. It's going to explain to you how to, some of what these beastmen are. We've got some more dinosaurs that are going to show up, and that's going to be pretty neat. We're going to have an aftermath about what happens. A lot of these we've seen before. These are called pygmies, and this is where we've got kind of these beastmen where they're not exactly human. They've got something going on with them. So it says, these beastmen are pygmies, a race of semi-sentient bipedal pigs, in essence, that stand a mere 2 to 3 feet tall, distended bellies, large, soft limbs, and yeah, they're going to look like pigs. So that's very cool. I like that a lot. And then why did it have to be snakes? Now, this one's very interesting. So you're going to come across a huge, giant iguana lizard, and in the middle of fighting it, you're also going to have the friendship and partners against taking this lizard down with these Ophidian, I think it's called, Ophidian beastmen. In essence, they are snake men. And it's going to tell you about their culture. They're another type of beastman. So we've got the humanoids, and then we've got like these erminoids that we've talked about in the other zines, but now we've got these beastmen. So these are snake-type men. So it says misunderstandings leads to problems. So they're going to help you out, but they're going to take you back down into these caves and into their society. It's got this in bold, let you know. And this is a really cool encounter. I mean, I just really like this one. This one stands out as different. You think it's going to be kind of the same thing. You come across a big creature. We've done that before, a big lizard or something, and we're going to attack it. Well, these guys come to help, and then they kind of befriend you, and they're going to take you down into their lair, in essence, down into these caves, and then the trap has been sprung, and I think it's going to be I really like it. I mean, I understand why they have the kind of caution thing here, the warning label, but I think it's fantastic. As you could definitely meet a horrible end, much like it says right there. And then we're going to go on to our erminoids and other less developed tribes, telling you more. This is where we're going to start branching into knowing more about them. So You're going to have an encounter that kind of introduces a new group of them. They're all going to be a bunch of new groups of these Erminoids, and we've got a specialties list here. What they might be: builders, gatherers, hunters, tenders, weaponeers, communicators, and some of the stuff that they might have along with them. So it's an interesting encounter. You're going to fight some wolves that's going to be in there. You're going to kind of go back to their village. They're going to get attacked by these dire wolves. And you can actually then take the fight back to where the dire wolves lair, in which there you will find a very large one that's there. I like how it has got these wolf tactics to let you know how to play a dire wolf. You're going to find the dire wolf pack alpha, but you're also going to find this man wolf, a child of Yath, which we've talked about Yath before. That is kind of a evil presence energy that's in this valley, and there's been some story that goes along with Yath, and this one also has that in the back as well. So this is a man wolf, a child of Yath. Very strong, got a corrupting bite, and does not regenerate damage from magical sources, so you need magical weapons would help against him. He's got a savage howl, which is pretty cool. But this is a neat encounter. You're then kind of twisting it back around, because the tribesmen, they say, look, they're going to continue to fight us. One of the people there can talk in the village, and they're going to say, look, they're going to continue to come after us. We've got to take it to them. So I really like that kind of twisting it around. So that's very nice. Got a big section here and talking about treasure. And of course, in the Valley of Time, the treasure is going to be a lot of things like skins and hides and pieces of your kills, and how you can barter and trade with them, with those items. And of course, that's going to pay off later on in this book. So here we've got the Ermine and the establishment of society here, where it's going to start talking. It does tell you about some of the other zines where they've kind of looked into this. But now one thing is really neat, and what makes this one a really good zine in this series is now you can actually create your own Ermines here. You can roll a d7 to find out their height, their weight here with a d4. What's their color? Maybe they're albino or green or blue. What's their group arrangement like? What is their technology level like? So you're in essence creating a whole species of these Ermines that live together, groups of them. So I think that's just this little area right in here is just really, really valuable to flesh out and create your own type of tribesman. So then we've got the Jungle Saviors encounter. This one's good as well. I like this one because it starts delving into a little bit of the religion aspect of some of these tribes. We have the new type of Ermines that have shown up, the Kokash right here. They're a very kind of primitive cult-worshipping tribe. And again, we've got a bit of a warning here. It could be upsetting to some people. And I think they're just covering themselves for what's in here. Nothing I saw in both of those things are, to me, are very nasty or anything I wouldn't mess with, but I understand you want to put it in there for maybe someone that doesn't want that. So these guys are pretty nasty. You're going to come across them. They're going to want to probably try to fight you, but then these guys are going to show up. So we've kind of seen this before. We've got multiple tribes kind of coming in, or they're trying to steal our kill or kill us as well. And this is just the PCs, Kokash and the Ganang Ermine just having a battle royale, the three of them. And it's very neat. I like it a lot. These are really neat as well, the Ganang. And then we've got a section here on the barter trade and the economy of the valley, going back to what I talked about with taking, pieces of getting your cuts off your kills and how you can work with the economy. I like this a lot. If you've got special items here, what is the trade value for them? It kind of explains to you. The only thing that this zines does a lot is it really explains stuff. It doesn't kind of just leave it hanging and for you to kind of figure out it. It gives you a lot of deep thought process that they had when making this zine. So Skeeter's done a great job on that. So like if you got a dinosaur hide, what's the trade value equivalent? Well, it could be 2 weapons. Maybe it's 4 days of food or shelter for 1 evening, something like that. Or it could be maybe 2 of those if you want it to be a little bit, more costly. What is large animal teeth or claws? Maybe a weapon or 1 day's food. And large animal teeth are going to be something very big. Animal pelts could be 1 to 2 weapons, and of course weapons mean, you protecting yourself. It's one of the most strongest things because water's abundant in the valley. You're going to have shelter might not be as much. It's going to be warm, so you don't have to really worry about the elements. But shelter and things like weapons are going to keep you alive. And then here's a great section on bartering, and then how to deal with unique items, and then going with that tribe. And their fertility goddess that they worship, the Kokash. You're going to start talking about the religion of the valley and the Fey tales here. So motivation behind it, deities and patrons and AIs, everything that you're going to kind of, if you need to want to come up with some sort of religion for these tribesmen, exactly what they might kind of be like and what they're going to be kind of what their focus of their worship is going to be. Of course, it's going to be a lot about the land and the elements and things like that. So that's pretty neat. We've got a whole section here on omens and how omens play a good portion of the collective culture of these valley tribes. Then we've got some of the monsters that we saw in the encounters, like the giant iguana lizard and the man wolf, the child of Yath. And then we've got this ermine here, especially for the Ganang. So that's the Ganang, the ones that showed up in that last encounter. And they suffer from a madness here that you can roll up, simple terror or mania. They're pretty wild. So it's a bite that they have, and I guess that what it can do is it can like give you this madness. So they're very wicked, nasty kind of tribesmen here. So, and it's also got the stats there again for the Kokosh. And then we've got a section here on weapons and armor. Different types of weapons, bone, horn, or wooden or metal weapons, how they work, how they might break should you roll a certain roll on your your action die. So if you roll like an 18 to 20 on a d20, you've got to make a luck check or your weapon will break, depending on what type it is. Some of them it's only with a critical, some of it's with you roll really high. So that's always good. I like that. I like bringing weapons down to them being possibly able to be broken and having to look for a new one. And then telling you about the different hides, skins and hides, or shells, plates, exoskeletons, and how they work with armor class, what type bonus you might get out of different types of hides. And they're going to talk more about Yath here in the story that's been going on in this Appendix C here, the Timeless Valley. And these are just good. They're good to just kind of flesh out what happened. Yath has gone underneath the ground, and he created just tons of beasts, creatures, monsters, and once they just started getting so full, they just started overflowing onto the surface world, and the animals and the people there had to fight them. So it's a good read, once again, to continue on with that story there. So that is the fourth one, Tribes and Factions. I think it is valuable. I think it's probably right after kind of the Monster Manual one, I believe it's the Exploring the Valley zine, the second one. That one was really good. I think this is also one you might want to get, so you can make your own tribes, the ermines and stuff like that. It's got some neat encounters, kind of flips it on its head a little bit more sinister encounters, dealing with some really nasty groups. But overall, I like this one a lot. It's a good size, it's got some cool art, and it's got a lot of cool resources for you, especially like the economy, the bartering, talking about religion, which is going to play a big part with these tribesmen. So there it is, Tribes and Factions, the fourth zine for the Valley Out of Time for DCC and MCC RPG. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm going to have more. Of course, we're going to take a look at the 5th and the 6th down the road, and because I want to complete this whole series, and they'll probably be in a playlist all their own when I'm finally done with it. But this was really cool. Of course, I'll have a link down at the bottom, in the description there if you want to pick it up, and a link comment. If you want to pick this up, should be a fun time once again back in the Valley. But thanks to everyone that's been subscribing to the channel and checking out my videos. I really appreciate it. And thanks a lot. I'll see you next time.